Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is the podcast Kava Talks Opportunities. This is the podcast where I teach you about what opportunities are out there here in Australia. This podcast is for people graduating, dropping out, or people who are recently moving here from another nation. It's also for people who are looking for an employment. Over 6 episodes, I will take you through what jobs are out there, the application process, what to expect on the interview and first day, and transitioning from one job to another. So sit back, relax, and hopefully this podcast is educating. Hello and welcome back to episode 4, Appeal. Today we'll be discussing what to wear to your job interview and on your first day. First up, we have an interview with Miss Michelle Abboud. Hello Michelle, how are you?
Hi Kava, I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Our pleasure, our pleasure. Today we have a few questions for you, 4 questions to be specific. This is about what to wear to the job interview, like what should people do and not do when going for a job interview or on their first day. So question number 1, what must one do to prep themselves for an interview or their first day?
So prior to even getting dressed, I think it's really important that you practice really good hygiene. Make sure you take a shower, make sure your nails are clean and tidy, your hair is neat and tidy, you've brushed your teeth, and you're wearing some deodorant. I mean, I know that sounds really silly and kind of funny to say that, but I think it's really important to have good hygiene, and it is the very first step that you should take in having a good presentation. But in terms of clothes, general business attire for your interview always works really well.
Yeah, my word, it is. Question number 2, what is the appropriate attire for the job interview, and should they prepare themselves? Like you said, could you elaborate a bit more on how should they clean themselves up? Should they cut their fingernails and clean their ears, etc.?
So as I said, it's always really important to take a shower beforehand. Make sure you've done your hair neatly, and just generally have general good hygiene, you know. But in terms of your clothes, I think general business attire is the way to go, meaning some nice dress pants and a button-down shirt if you're a man or a woman, and having a nice blazer or jacket on top that looks quite neat is really important. A lot of people sometimes are not so sure about what to wear, and I think my general rule of thumb is if you're unsure, always dress up more than you normally would, because it's better to look more professional, more formal than it is to look like you're too casual. Because I feel that if you come dressed in a very casual way, it can give off the idea that you don't want to put effort, you don't really care too much, and you don't want to appear that way to an employer.
Yes, as I always say, the first impression is the best impression.
That's right.
Question number 3. What are some questions one can ask at the interview? Some appropriate questions that people could ask to the employer?
It's always really great to ask about the type of training you'll receive prior to beginning the job. That shows that you're keen to learn more about the job. It's really great to learn more about the role that you are going for. So any specific questions about the type of work you'll be doing is great. My main tip in an interview is at the end, if the employer does ask, do you have any questions? Always ask a question. Even if you think it's a silly one, asking a question means that you're really curious about the role, and it shows that you're very interested in what you'll be doing with that company. So that's something that's really important to reflect when you go for an interview.
With modern day society, would it be rude for one to ask a question about what type of payment would they receive and how would they be paid?
Getting a job here, I come here every day for an iced chocolate. So I know you really well, you know me, we're neighbours, and you've seen me working with my parents. So I'd like you to give me a chance here. And the manager was really impressed. And when he did my formal interview, he asked me what kind of, work experience that I had had. He asked me when my availabilities were. He asked me how I work well with a team and wanted to know why I really wanted that job and why I thought that I would be a good fit for the role.
And what was your response when he asked you what type of how could this impact you? And like that last question that you specified, why do you want the job? What did you reply with?
Well, I remember saying that that coffee is really important to people in their day, and I wanted to be part of making people's day. I also really wanted the job because I wanted to be a bit more independent and learn some new skills. So I actually wanted to learn how to make a proper barista-made coffee. I was really interested in knowing how to do that. So I definitely made that clear in my interview. And I also told my then boss that I was really keen to learn other skills I was keen to improve on other skills such as my communication and my teamwork skills.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after the break. Thank you very much. So now it's my take on what you should wear for your job interview or your first day or any formal event that you have to do with your work. So, as Michelle said, if your job requires a uniform, that's what you would wear on the first day, the uniform. And that's a question you could ask at the interview if your workplace has any mandatory uniform that you need to wear or purchase from, and where do you get that from? Now, moving on, when you're going for a job interview or when you're going out in public, in general, going out to do anything work-related, or if you're seeking a job, if you're going to introduce yourself, or if it's a place that still doesn't do online applications, make sure you dress nicely. Don't overdo it. Don't go formal, three-piece suit, whatnot, shiny leather shoes. Go something with a smart casual look. So you don't want to overdo that look. Just smart casual. So nice button-up t-shirt, maybe suit pants, chinos, jeans, closed shoes with those type of pants is always better off. Make sure your fingernails are trimmed. You brushed your teeth. Your hair's all done. You got a nice fresh fade or nice haircut for those ladies out there who don't do fades. And yeah, make sure you're just well presented and your posture is good and you've brushed your teeth, you've cleaned your face, you don't smell. Make sure you put deodorant and perfume on. Basic necessities pretty much for people in a daily life. Just dress up a bit nicer. Put on that nice dress that you wear rarely around. Put on that nice pair of pants that you wear rarely. Those kind of clothes that you would wear rarely, but don't overdo it, But yeah, so dressing nicely, brushing your teeth, making sure you're well presented and you know what to do. That's basic appeal stuff. Cut your fingernails, make sure you don't smell, make sure your clothes are ironed for those people who just scrunch their clothes up and throw them at the bottom of the wardrobe or just throw them in the drawers or just leave them lying around in your bedroom or in your living room if you live in an apartment. But yeah, make sure your clothes are ironed, they're nice and freshly cleaned and they not dirty, they look presentable, and make sure you look presentable because all humans are beautiful people and you deserve to look beautiful. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, we are all beautiful beings. It's just up to those who adore us for our beauty. But yeah, when dressing nicely, make sure you do you. Dress how you would dress for a formal event and try to look decent, please. And hey, it's up to you whether you choose to look presentable or not. Only you can sell yourself. No one else can sell yourself better than what you can. Always think about that. You're the only one who knows you 100%. So go out there. Be good people. Make sure you dress nicely when you're going for an interview. When you're going for anything work related, if you're seeking a job, doing an interview. So tips. Number 1, dress nicely. take an extra long shower to make sure you're not smelly. Make sure your fingernails are trimmed, your hair's brushed, your teeth are clean, your face is clean. And make sure you're presentable. Make sure you're wearing enough deodorant. Not too much. There are people who put too much deodorant on. It's a bit over the top. And all you need is just the right amount. And make sure you carry it on you at all times, because you never know what you're going to end up doing when you're out there. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Next episode, episode 5, we're talking about first day and what to do on your first day. Thank you.